So last week we made this, but yeah, now we're gonna make the next bit. Well, not last week actually, yesterday. So yeah, you just want to shrink the hitbox into a square so the shadow actually falls onto the floor if your sprite has a shadow. And now we're just gonna code jumping. So we're gonna need simple script that does if the green flag is clicked, because the clone follows along with where the hitbox is. So if, and this is going to be a big line of code, you need two ORs like this, space, or up arrow, we will choose W, but you can just choose whatever key you like if you don't want this much code. So it will just launch us up in that Y and then give us a cooldown, which means just a little bit of time to fall so we don't start rocketing, which exactly is this script here. And now, yes, that is some smooth jumping. But I don't think it's good enough, that there's not enough power in it, so let's change it to 40 times. He keeps jumping too much. Let's see what it does. There's just 10. Yeah, it's just a singular jump. So what if we make it change it by 40? Okay, that's too much. Maybe 20. 20, I think, is our winner. Now we're going to need it to delete this variable here, or at least hide it so we don't see it. And now let's get working on obstacles. So we want a random moving obstacle, and I'm just going to make it nice and simple, a wall. Yeah, just a black box. And if the hitbox hits the black box, if the hitbox hits the black box, something bad happens. I don't know. You need to restart. Okay, now let's make this work. Okay, so we're gonna need him to start at 240. So right at the end, and it just to make clones of itself, so the sprite itself hides, but it will continue making clones in a minute. So let's just get to coding this. So we just need it so the object glides 1 secs to here, and then it deletes itself. It's minus 240 is literally just the edge of the screen because 240 is there. Make sure the clone shows, and it will keep creating some clones of itself. But we do need a little bit left, so every 0.3 seconds. And now we've got this. Still too fast. Okay, now we've done that. Let's do the next bit. Okay, so first you're gonna need to do what I've done here. You've got to make a clone and make it 1 second and glide 2 secs, and now you get this. The physics are a little bit better. Now, as you can see, the stickman is kind of falling down when he jumps. So let's make it so he doesn't do that. So we're going to need to make it so he is going up, but as well down with this. So I'm going to make it so it changes the Y. Now he can't get, now he won't come down.
Oh, so yeah.
Noah, I was recording.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He's recording. He'll come and do something in a minute for you.
Cut. Start. Cut. Start. Cut. Start. Okay, now let's make it so. Yeah, so that's what I've done here. Cut. Start. That's what I've done here. I've made it so he's constantly changing his Y by 1. It may look like he's bouncing a bit, but trust me, it is fine. Let's make it so he goes up higher when he jumps. So switch it to 25. And now let's actually turn these obstacles into something. Now we're going to make the obstacles have a hitbox, so they're not annoying and they always hurt. Because I can tell you, that gets annoying. And people will stop playing your game if it isn't coded correctly. So I'm just going to make a simple box that he needs to jump. And the hitbox is just going to be, you know what, for this one we only need to change the colour for the hitbox. But maybe your one has a different look to it. So, you know what, it doesn't even need a hitbox, this one. So, now we've got this, we need to make it so he hurts himself. So maybe if I touch the player, so let's make a new one. If touching your obstacle, maybe it will stop the whole game completely. Make sure to put a forever on there so it happens whenever and it doesn't really matter when. Perfect. Oopsie. Poo! Poop! I can't do it. No! Ah! Maybe it would help if I went in full screen mode. So maybe if you're finding it hard getting over your obstacle, maybe you need to go for your skill range and shrink the obstacle. Okay, so now we're kind of getting past it. But if you are finding this too hard, you can always switch how many seconds it takes. So I'm going to choose 2.5. Oof. Maybe it's something to do with our hitbox. Maybe our hitbox is too big. Ah, I see why. It's including the hands when a hitbox should only contain the main body. Otherwise, it gets a little bit unfair, I've got to say. I do think sometimes. Which is why a lot of generic platformer games on Scratch are made. Because the hitbox is really easy and there's no need for clones. See? I got past a couple. And now, there you have it. An almost ready game. But do you want to see the rest? Well, you can. Now we're going to be making this the background that will move. Now, if you did see my scrolling background tutorial, just don't do it anymore. This is a better version that is a little bit more accurate than my last one. So yeah, so this is what you want. You want something easy that looks like there is hardly any transition in it. Now you convert it to bitmap and fill in the whole background with whatever you like. I'm just going to leave it blank. And now we can get coding this thing. So, how does one code such a complex structure? So you're going to need three clones. You are going to need, so the original version of it hides. And then we're going to need a status clone. Okay, so we're going to need it to show when it's a clone. And let's say we need to make a new variable. Name it ID. I make it for one sprite only, which is the sprite we're on now. And we're going to need to set the ID to 0 and change ID by 1 per clone. So, if ID is 1, go to here, here, and why don't we make that 0 just for fun? And let's make that minus 240 And then you can guess where we're going to next. Cut, PUBG, skip, start. Okay, so yeah, we just take off the minus there, and now let's actually code this to work, otherwise it'll just be like a big thingy. So yeah, we're gonna need to set the size to 0 by making our size costume, or blank, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna name it size. Oh wait, oh god, size. And now we can change the size to whatever we like. $300. Okay, 300 is honestly just too big. Yeah, so if the ID equals 1, 2, and 3, and then just slot in the ID variable and the other ID variable. So there we go. And now, okay, yeah, that's still too big. 150 has got to be it. Okay, let's just set it back to 100. So maybe let's calculate where the thing will go. So switch it back to costume 1. So it seems to be that the bigger the sprite, the more it can go back. So 290 and 290. Bit better. But of course, if you're finding this too tricky, you can just backpack a scrolling background engine if you are. So you do that if you want. So now let's make a new Star clone script because that one is too big. You know what? No, we are going to add on to that one. So let's do this one again. And they'll just be going in a big cycle. So now let's make Glide Sex 2. um 290. And this one is a little bit of a change up because we are going to send it to minus 290. So it follows in the steps of the other one, the other one, and the other one, and yeah. And now we just set them all to go to the back of the screen. And now, oh yeah, but they're still being a bit bad. Let's just say that. But yeah, that's how you do. That's how you make a runner game in Scratch. Make sure to like and subscribe for more tutorials. And yeah.